So that just like got me thinking of just like, so we're going to go through this scorecard and you might sit there and go, oh, buy Jingos, it's a lot of work. I don't know where buy Jingos came from. I'm going to run with it. I liked it.
That was that early Ben.
I enjoyed
emo
that.
Ben.
I enjoyed that a lot. Because it made a lot of people uncomfortable. I'm really
Please
happy with it.
never say that.
That's sticking now.
It's like some of them will say, "Holy shit,
yeah,
that's a lot of work."
Fuck, that's heaps of work.
Fuck, bro.
That's better. But when you realistically sit back, like if I was sitting here going like, so you can either go work a corporate job for 55 hours a week, or you can post 7 times on Instagram. Fuck. How often do we deal with the friction around showing up on social media?
Yeah, often.
And is it honestly just a lack of perspective?
Even showing up on the phone.
Is that the hardest thing? Is it just a lack of perspective that the hardest thing in our business isn't that hard, but it's the hardest thing we have to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or is it actually really, really hard? I'm not sure. What do you think?
I think the mental block at the start is hard.
Yeah.
Once you overcome that, it's like that's the barrier to you having the lifestyle. Like, you know, when people look at your, like from the outside in, they're like, oh, it looks pretty good. And then I'm like, you would not be able to do this.
Yeah.
Like even Steph, she's like, I know sometimes like you work a lot and I know sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
But she's like, I could never do your job. She's like, I just could never do it. You, all the stuff you do, she's like, just can't.
Yeah.
Where she like works her ass off, gets paid really well.
Yeah.
But she knows the work.
Yeah.
So you just do the thing. Where ours is so diversified.
Yeah. Amy and I have the same discussion. Like, I could never do what you do, be with him 24 hours a day. But she's also like, I could never do what you do.
Yeah. So I think like, and like, I don't know, we've come from, you know, we always say like, if you have that really kind of shit job at the start, like, you're like, well, I could be doing that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of lays the, like, your expectations of what you could have. And it's like, well, for me, I know I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm ever going back to like a hospitality job or or just reporting someone or having someone like, you know, talk shit and down on me. Yeah. Just because I work and they have to tell me what to do and stuff. I'm just like, I'm never, ever, like, I'll do anything to not do that. So making a couple of videos and a few carousels of me having some fun and, you know, telling people how knowledgeable I am and why I can help them. Like, this sounds pretty easy.
Do you think it's perspective then?
Of course it is.
So hopefully
it's perspective in general, and then it's perspective of themselves. Yeah. Because the barrier in a lot of cases is that they don't think that they're worthy enough. Yes. And then they're also worried about what other people think, and they don't have enough proof yet to not care about that. Yeah. Where you and I don't really care. Like, you know, every now and then it's like, you know, I'll go on the YouTube and I'm like, fuck, who's coming for me today? What thing did I say that maybe was incorrect or maybe I didn't articulate it properly? But like, and there'd be years gone where I'd be mortified. Yeah. And then now I'm like happy. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see who's commented on the YouTube this week. You know, on the YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm so comfortable now where I'm just like, man, like someone called me out and I'm just like, you know, a PhD and trust me, bro. And I'm like, well, how's 20 years of training and 15 years of coaching people and an exercise science degree do for you, bro? Yeah. No, like really. I don't care anymore. Yeah. You know, where that comment for someone else, that's 3 months of their confidence gone. Yeah. So I think it's perspective of like, maybe you haven't come from something tough enough to know what your other hard could be. And then the other thing is like, there's fear around putting something out and having people come for you. Yeah. Yeah. And that's bigger than I think the perspective thing.
Yeah. Have you ever had clients that like get to goals and sabotage?
Yeah.
Whether it's a weight number or a...
Well, I've had people always try and, like, they get to a point and you feel like you're going to break through and then they just relapse,
Yeah, and you can see it repeat. Yeah. I've had that a lot. Not a lot, but, like, I've seen it enough. I feel like that happens in business too.
Fuck, it's happened to us.
Yeah.
How many times? Even, like, I remember... Because I was thinking about my online coaching journey. It's like, you know, I was like, I don't want to be an online coach. Fear. Yeah. It's purely. Yeah. I'm just going to do face-to-face because I like it. Comfort, fear, too hard. Yeah. Then I got my first 10, and then I'm like, wasn't really doing anything. Why aren't I getting any more? You're not doing anything. Yeah. And then we went into lockdown. It kind of, made the decision. But then we fucking went all in. And then it was like, it'd get 20, 25. And then it'd go to 23, then 27. And even like, I'm like, when I hit 30, huge.
Yeah.
I'd hit 30, I'd go to 25.
Yeah.
I'd hit 30, I'd go to 25.
Yeah, I did that for
and I can't remember where, like, we went somewhere and they're just like, what you're currently doing now is the reason why you can't break through.
Yeah.
Because
just keep doing the same thing.
Because what you're doing is what you deserve to get at 30. It's like you can't do the same thing and expect to get 35, 40. And then change the strategy, change whatever, change some of the inputs, got better at the game as well, right? Yeah. So it's not necessarily like when you think about what you're doing, you got to do more. It's how you're doing it too. Mm-hmm. And then 30 turns into 35, 35 turns into 40. And even then I was like, I need to break through this.
Yeah.
And it broke through it and maintained it.
Yeah.
From doing something else again.
Yeah.
And that's been the biggest lesson.
Yeah.
Like in business overall, it's like what you did to get you here isn't necessarily what you need to do to bring you forward.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. I was going in a slightly different direction. I think people need to listen to that though. They're like, if you're making $1,000, like we said at the start, it's not going to get you to 2,000.
Yeah.
Or to 3,000. Like it's the processes have to change. But I know maybe for myself, I think I've done it too. But I see it in clients a lot with like weight loss or whatever. They'll hit a number and then bounce back out.
Oh, so you think you're saying like mentality wise, like
it's like if I make six figures,
change their behavior,
means something about me that maybe I have a negative connotation, or maybe like my parents are like,
my bad,
whatever about money and whatever.
Oh, dude. So I don't
deserve
that.
to make this. And
I still have that sometimes, man. I'm like, fuck, this could work.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
Yeah,
like what I actually want to happen could happen. That's fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like, it's terrifying.
Yeah. So I built out everything for the 2 gyms and for us. Just for the 2 gyms. Didn't really... us was laid in there. And I was like, built it all out first for their outcomes and everyone's outcomes. And I was like, okay, what happens? What hits my bank account if we do this? And I sent you the loom and I was like, Jesus. Okay.
Oh, was that our bank accounts?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That wasn't company. That was each. Yeah. Look at us both. Fucking fidgeting around and like flushed and shit.
And that's not even with like coaching in there as well.
Correct. Yeah, dude.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So I think people do that when we say you can make $3,000 a week.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That discomfort, that like, fuck, I'm not.
Yeah.
Just a personal trainer. I just do sessions.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But when you sit back and you go, well, most people that make $3,000 a week work 55 hours a week. It's like, oh, and I you can do it in 30. Yeah.
We were going fishing, going on the beach on Friday.
Like, you can do that in 30 hours. Like, that's not bullshit.
No.
Like, we'll scale your business to... No, that's not even being dickheads. Like, you can make $3,000 a week just face to face, let alone before you go online.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you have the two together, like 30 hours a week is not, and that's content creation, admin, programming, check-ins, and training people.
Yeah,
it's a legit thing.
I can't agree more.
I don't know how to solve that for you right now. I don't have a Jocko down the lens to be like, you need to believe in yourself.
But you need actionable steps, though.
Maybe have a think about why it scares you and all that kind of stuff. Get the journal out.
Yeah. There's a lot of... Yeah. I don't know about that. I guess sometimes it's, how you're brought up, how you were educated around money.
Yeah.
I know for me, like, those things still happen.
Yeah.
Like, I still have... mindsets around money and lifestyle that were predicated or a result of like me growing up. It's like we had a little bit when we were younger, but then we didn't have anything.
Had nothing, yeah.
Yeah, and then we didn't have money, and then so it was like a big deal. Money was a big deal.
Yeah.
So every now and then it kind of creeps its head in. So if you're someone from that and you're younger, so when I was younger, I was like, fuck, never talk about money.
Yeah.
never talk about any of that shit and never had it. So didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
So if you're younger, like I can see where the awkwardness comes from. I can see where that barrier is for people. And I can see where that, like even just like understanding what your life could be like.
Yeah.
It's like I have no fucking idea life was going to be like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just figuring it out.
Yep.
You know? And then all of a sudden it kind of just took a good turn.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, now I'm used to this. And then the next level's scary.
Still the same. Yeah.
But it's the way you thought is still the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tough thing to get over, but it's a normal thing too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's totally normal to feel that way.
Yeah. That number was with coaching. Was
Awesome.
weekly with coaching.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the coaching numbers were low though.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, I can't buy GT3 RS yet.
Pretty close.
Well, good.
Depends how much debt you want. Yeah, interesting. So actually, the last psych session I had, I was just raised the question, like, because obviously I was going into that sprint, knowing the next 3 months was going to be fucking crazy.
Mm.
And I know you have the same thought where sometimes you're just like, man, if I just coached, I'd probably make the same money. It'd be way less stressful.
I have that.
Obviously, the upside's like,
yeah, but then I'm like,
nowhere near it.
Yeah, and then but I also think like everything is the way it is because of what we do.
Correct. Yep.
So it's hard. Like
it's the layers, it's the authority.
You can't break one.
Correct.
You can't just remove everything and go, oh, I'll just do coaching. Because then it's like, well, if you take all of this out.
Does your coaching still work the same way?
Yeah.
Which it probably doesn't.
Yeah, so I have to remind myself of that all the time. So all of this is the way it is because that's why.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's the whole ecosystem that provides the support. So, and I was just said to her, I'm like, do I like this? Or is this coming from a place of lack? Like, is this I'm trying to prove my worth? Do I still have a chip on my shoulder that I'm not aware of? Like, I can list 100 things that I like about my job. But am I working like myself like a dog because there's some underlying like self-worth thing that I'm still trying to prove myself or whatever? So she said she's really good. She doesn't do like let's talk about your family and upbringing stuff. She's like, solution. Good. So she's like,
I don't want to talk about it.
Don't make me cry. Where is it? So, in your journal, what would it mean to be enough? What would it look like to be enough? And what would I do if I knew I was enough?
Wow. You're not getting that answer from me right now.
I'm not asking for it right now.
Making my skin crawl. That's a deep question.
If you're out there and you're like $3,000 a week is terrifying, it's probably you don't think you deserve it.
I don't even know the answers to those questions.
Takes a little while.
Yeah, like you couldn't. That's going to be a long journaling session to overcome that one.
That's like
what would it look like
every day? It's like 2 dot points.
Yeah,
and then even
I
just
love
like
the question.
The way I interpret the question is different every day too.
Absolutely, I'm already thinking of 2 different ways of thinking it because it's like you're looking at one as like a business owner, then all of a sudden I was looking at one as a person.
Yeah.
What would it look like?
Yeah.
To be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the
great.
biggest one is what would I do if I knew it was enough?
Mine would be chill the fuck out. Not clench my jaw 24 hours a day and have fucking lactic acid in my fucking jaw because it's tight all the time.
Have migraines and sore ribs and shit. Yeah. And even just like I put a post up that most of us don't like. Most of us are all pursuing success but don't quantify what success is. So you're never successful.
Oh, yeah.
Because me right now is successful to me 5 years ago.
Absolutely.
But to me right now, it's not.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So what would it look like to be enough is like, well, so what actually has to happen for you to fucking be like, I'm valuable.
You know where I think the value of that is too, with that, what would it look like? It's like not being hyper specific as well.
Yeah.
Because like the numbers don't always land, but you move in the direction that you want. Or you get massive growth in this area and then this one doesn't get the growth, but you are hyper focused on this.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden you're like, well, what does this look like? It's like, and you bury yourself in this area and go, it needs to be really this number and rah. Yeah. Then you're like, well, and to be honest, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am we not here? And then you're like, hang on a second.
Yeah.
what does success look like? It looks pretty fucking.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good at the moment if you actually pay attention.
Yeah. I'm not doing 55 hours a week.
Yeah.
It's a start.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a tough thing if you're like that high achiever, like high. What's the word? Like you put your a little bit of your self-worth on your work ethic, and you kind of get anxious when you're not doing shit because you think you should be doing more.
Yeah.
Was it like high A or whatever they call it or some shit?
Yeah.
That's tough to live with.
Anxious high achiever.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, and I struggle with that all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, should be doing more.
Yeah.
Maybe if I knew what it looked like, I could just be like, oh, no, because this is what it looks like and it's good.
Yeah, well, like, if you haven't determined the outcome of, I would feel like enough if, then it's like the income thing. It's like, I just need more.
Yeah, true.
What's the end goal, though? More.
Then you never have one, right?
You're never happy.
More.
Yeah. More muscle.
Well, that one you can never have enough.
I had a conversation during the week, like, my standard for coaching now is perfection. And we spoke last year about, like, the year not being as fulfilling as maybe it should have been.
Yeah.
Given the outcomes that we had, and which was probably this stuff. And I fucked up. I actually lost the client because I fucked up. Like, I just made a couple of mistakes in a row around a program, and I was like, she's like, I want to cancel. I'm like, you know what? Yes. Like, this is 100% my fault.
Me, yeah.
And it fucking ate me. Because, like, the standard for my coaching is perfection. So, like, 12 o'clock on Monday, the week you're supposed to start a new program, if you don't have it, I'm angry at myself.
Yeah.
Like, it pisses me off. So, if perfection is baseline, I don't get to the end of the week and be like, fucking great, good job coaching this week, right?
No.
Because if it's perfect, that's the standard.
It's the standard, yeah.
So there's no upswing. Like, there's no pendulum. It just stops. Doesn't swing to the positive.
It only goes one way, which is
it can only go down.
Down.
Can only go down.
That's probably not.
I don't know what to do about it, but it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah, because I'm looking through my results at the moment. I'm like, this is the best results I've ever gotten. Like you said, the last 12 months. The last 6 months, the outcomes I'm getting from clients are
we've killed
exceptional.
We've killed it as a brand.
Yeah.
In the last 12 months.
So it's like, well, what's the... But I'm just like, yeah, you should. You know what I mean? It's not, fuck yeah, bro. Like, everyone's killing it. It's like, they should be. Because you should be. It's interesting.
Maybe that's where a little bit of benchmarking does help.
Yeah.
Because, I look at other people sometimes and I'm like, well, you're not showing what we're showing.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of benefit to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Being able to... How impressive is it that every single one of our coaches could put out a result every week? Not 4 on a rotation per month.
Yeah, not the same ones.
And I haven't backtracked any of mine. They're just like, oh, this happened this week, bang.